I'm here.
Sounds so enthused.
Don't ask for so much.
All right, here we go.
Let's fucking do this.
Fucking doing this.
It's disco slasher time, Warren. You should be much more excited than what you are.
I don't know what I'm sitting into.
Do you know what disco is?
Yes,
Do you know what slasher movies are?
kind of.
I think you know exactly what you're getting into.
No, because like if John Travolta walks out in a white suit with a knife, I'm not ready for that.
Wouldn't that be fucking
Wouldn't it
great?
be glorious if he did? That would easily be the most majestic slasher film ever made. Super young, prime, John Travolta
Yeah.
as a slasher needed to happen.
Oh, are they like twins?
Sure looks like it with the same shirts.
Come on. They don't want you in their game.
What a little prick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely don't want you to participate. They're like, oh, it's the smart
that
nerd.
look was kind of like, this bitch.
They don't want her to play because she's always good at catching people because she's psycho in the head.
Killer's gotcha.
Don't tell me they're gonna kill the girl by accident. Push her, she's gonna hit her head on something and die. Hell yeah. Toss her onto the sink. No, okay. Just going for the master flank. Please. Oh, she's gonna fall out the window. Wow.
Oh my god!
That girl on the left, you could tell that's very much the end of her criminal life. Like this game ain't for me.
We'll go home now and never ever tell anyone. No one but us will ever.
She's struggling. She already gone through 7 scenarios how she ends up in prison.
Kelly, I don't want to go to jail. Swear.
Dang, she was only 10? That's crazy.
It looked like Yoda wrote that too soon taken from us.
She's probably a parent. Like what? Is that that's them again, but
Well,
older.
that's probably the twin because he got that hair.
I know. That's what I said. I said that's them, but older.
Yeah. You know, they aged a lot in 6 years.
Time to go. We've got to get back.
Well, technically, they're supposed to be in high school, right?
Yeah.
Supposed to be, but that guy is at least 30.
So technically, they're all 16, right?
That guy is no younger than 26 years old.
Obviously.
Well,
but
Jamie Lee is actually probably like 19 right there in real life.
she doesn't look 19.
No, I know.
Well, wasn't she 19 when they did Halloween though?
I think she was like 17 or 18 when they did it. I could be wrong. She could be in her 20, 21.
Based on the context that they gave us, these kids are all now 16 years old.
16, 17-ish, yeah.
Somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
She would have been 16, but she could have been younger than them too. She could have been a couple years younger.
Oh yeah, she was 19 when she did Halloween. She was born in
19? Okay,
she was
yeah,
born in 58.
So she
Is 22 right here.
20 in this one, then probably 20, 21.
I'm in charge
Yeah.
of the sound system tonight. Not bad.
This is what 80, I believe.
I think so, because I think she did this like a year or two after Halloween.
Yeah.
She did this before she did Halloween 2.
Mm-hmm.
We are grateful to go to your school. Give me your stuff.
I love it. It's a completely different school than what we see in Prom Night 2, though.
Alex, no man is wacko.
That's one I got to rewatch again soon.
Kelly says he spies on the girls in the lot.
Prom Night 2?
Yeah.
That's the best one in the franchise.
For just a short time, but he's been checked out.
That's not creepy at all.
I remember those old phones. I know you don't, Warren.
Hmm?
Hello?
Do you remember those old phones?
No, I was more of the ones that like laid in there like that, and you'd pick it up and it had the wire. So I didn't have the spinny to do the numbers.
The rotary.
Yeah, I had
Said
to
spinny.
pick it up and then hit dial it on the phone. We had those when I was. Yeah.
I love it.
My grandma
He
had
said
nothing
I
but
would-
rotary phones, so I grew up with those for quite a while.
He said I didn't have the spinny.
No, we didn't have the spin option. We just had the type option, and then you had to put it back on the thing. You know, like that when they would hang them on the walls.
Yeah.
We had those. Time.
It's my
To be the killer. Such a good plot already. Except this time we play the game for realsies.
Drew, is that you?
That's wild. Like, they don't even dress like teenagers. Because back then you didn't dress like kids, you just dressed like your parents. So.
Kelly,
Ah!
Where did you come from?
the back door was open.
My mom's womb.
He said your back door.
I'm glad to see you too. John, didn't he? Maybe I should try that.
I guess she's the one that was probably crying.
Yeah, she said her name,
So am I.
and then they showed
Okay,
the
it was
picture.
Kelly.
They showed the yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember. I've probably been
okay.
talking too much and not paying enough attention.
Oh, one bullet. That's all he's gonna take with him.
That's it. That's all you need. If you're thug enough, that's all you need.
Oh yeah, we like that. We like that look.
Fuck, I can't kill him now. I wasn't able to get through.
The guy's picture
Yeah, that
behind
picture
her.
underneath is glorious, man.
You're like Samuel L. Jackson.
Ready on time. Let's go floor like a
Take the picture, you motherfucker. No. I think my understanding of who this character is off
Okay, why would you think it was?
because who I thought she was is not who she is. If that makes sense. Because I had to reroute the fact that one of the twins is dead.
Oh, did you think she was the twin?
No, I don't know who I thought she was. I thought that she was one of the siblings though of the twin, because wasn't there another girl there when they were crying?
Yes, I think she is.
Okay,
She's an older sister. She's like a year older than them or something.
okay. So I'm right then. But she keeps hearing like kid voices. So like, did she actually see it happen and just did nothing and never said anything? That's my question.
Oh, okay. I see. You're playing. You got your sleuth goggles on.
Yeah,
Trying
I'm
to
wrong,
solve
but it's
crime.
okay.
Why?
I couldn't be farthest from the truth on
Who's the
my
kid?
assumption.
It's Samuel L. Jackson. And
Time for you to die, motherfucker.
I don't like my picture, motherfucker.
One more thing, Sam.
He's mad about his picture in the yearbook. Is that what he-
Check the whole deal.
He was in something else we watched, wasn't he?
He looks similar to somebody, probably. I don't think so.
He kind of looks like an off-brand Don Catha. A little bit.
From Return of the Living Dead.
I mean, obviously it's not him, but he
No.
kind of looks like him.
Yeah, I see it now. That would be why he looks familiar to me.
Would you look him up real quick?
Yeah, I had to get I don't know the names, so I had to look up.
Yeah. You will by
Don.
the time we're done with the podcast. You're going to know every bit character in every horror movie.
Now, I can't remember the name of the movies that this guy is in, but
The Naked Gun.
there it is. I knew it was something gun.
They're rebooting that with Liam Neeson.
Which I don't know
that's
how
gonna
I
be terrible.
feel about.
That's going to be absolutely atrocious.
As much as I love Liam Neeson, I just don't think they need to do it. I feel like they only cast him because his name is so close to Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I just don't know how I would feel about him basically playing the Frank Drebin part. It's just so weird. It's just so weird.
I mean, my thing is, he's been doing serious movies this whole recent stretch of his career. Now he's gonna do this.
Yeah, I know.
I
mean, he's definitely got the chops to do a lot of things. Because he's a really, really good actor. I don't know. I just don't think they need to mess with Naked Gun.
Nah.
No.
It'd be different if it was. I don't know. Not that because I guess I'm just not that big a Naked Gun fan. I think the first one was very funny. And they got progressively worse.
I mean, if you had thrown Stephen Amell at me, or not Stephen Amell, excuse me,
Stop it.
Steve, is it Steve Carell? Is that his name?
Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
Carell. That would have made sense.
Like that, you throw somebody like that at me, or like a Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
Okay,
I could see like a Steve Carell because I mean he did that Get Smart one too, which is kind of
Yeah.
Get Smart was hilarious.
which
Yeah,
is
that
kind of
was
along
really
the
good.
same line, you know.
Yeah, very much cut from the same cloth.
like if they threw a couple of some of those guys at it, okay, then I got my interest. See what you're talking about.
Is this when he confesses being a fucking murderer?
God, you're beautiful.
That sounded so fake.
Mm.
God, you're beautiful.
You too, Kim.
Sorry. You too, Kim. It's realized you said that.
Yeah.
Kinda
Oh,
sneaky.
she's a walking ashtray as well.
Thank you. What? Why am I thanking you? I don't know.
She's a walking ashtray as well. Thank
You're
you.
talking about me.
Did he stand her up? Oh no, there he is. In his little hoopty ride.
Don't honk the horn, you uncouth fucking bastard. Fucking separate that eyebrow into two fucking eyebrows. Get out of the car and you go fucking knock on the door. And you don't bring a friend to pick up your prom date. Dude, this guy's game is non-existent. He brought two fucking friends.
I feel like they should just get I can't think of the guy's name. I always mix him up with Warren Buffett, the ring announcer guy.
Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer. Yeah. Everybody's always buffering for some reason.
Did you just say you mix him up with Warren Buffett?
Like the name, not visually, just I always want to call him Warren Buffett. But they should always get him to do the "It's time" when the killings are about to start. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Time.
in the movie theater and the thousands watching at home.
It's time. And then they just come up and slice his throat every time, and he dies.
Disco slashing is happening.
Watching you, baby. Oh.
Yeah. What year did you say this movie was?
I think 80.
Because this is pretty much at the tail end of like the disco era. So I noticed.
Discount on cover.
Available at every Piggly Wiggly.
Yes, 1980. Came out before Terror Train too.
There's a movie called Terror Train.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is in that too. She did so many horror movies in her early in her career.
Ooh, that's slow-mo.
Come on, give it to me. Yes.
Finally, something happened.
I can start to relax now. Here we go.
Only took over an hour for the
First death.
start.
Well, second, I guess technically, but
Yeah.
What up, girl?
what's going on? You smell like another woman.
You like, you like that.
So will I.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't appear to be a woman. Oh,
Remember,
what?
He can't see because he don't have no glasses.
Oh my god! That's crazy.
The way it just exploded before it even hit
Yeah,
anything.
it even hit
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, like. Oh my god! What the? What? That's crazy. They hadn't shown a single kill until that. That is wild. Oh my god. He can't walk. Fuck, getting his hands loose. Let's go. Oh, the irony of them coming out on the stage right now, like they practiced. Except it wasn't like they practiced.
Right.
The irony in all of this that she's trying to save somebody who killed her. Like, that's crazy. Oh, good dodge. Oh, okay. Nice barrel roll there. I think this is very accurate fighting. 'Cause this is what would happen if you really fought somebody. It's just a struggle, power struggle, basically. Rip the mask off. It's the only way. What? No. Tell me. So then it's somebody she knew. She recognized him. It's the brother. I was right. I had 100 guesses. I was going to get one of them right.
Very true.
But I did say that. I was like, maybe it's the brother, and he did see it all and never actually left.
I believe that was the first one you said anyways, so.
So that's the one that counts. Booyah! I'm so good.
This is We're Gonna Make You Watch.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of We're Gonna Make You Watch. I am Brian. With me, as always, are my good friends Isaiah and Warren. And in this episode, we introduced Warren to a slasher classic?
Question mark?
Yeah. We introduced him to Prom Night from 1980. Before we get too far into that, how have you guys been doing the past couple weeks?
Busy. Well, not really busy. Busy of my own doing. The wife's still been going through with the end of this musical time period because she's been going through the performances. So the last 2 weeks I haven't really seen my wife at all.
That's
So
what you said. You've kind of had a lot of alone time to like game and do things like that.
yeah, a lot of Destiny, a lot of Helldivers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Besides that, well, I've been kind of cooling off on watching wrestling because with WrestleMania being over, I've kind of gotten back into normal where I'm not watching it every fucking day, something. So, beyond that, lots of issues doing the podcast because if you guys have noticed from a previous episode with Return of the Living Dead, there was no reaction video because it got copyright, blocked no matter what I did with it. Even just the smallest clip from that movie caused it to be copyright blocked. So, unfortunately, the reaction video that I spent hours doing is non-existent on YouTube because of that. So that was disheartening to say the least. So I spent a little too much time trying to figure that out. But unfortunately, just because MGM is fucking stupid, I fucking hate them. Fuck MGM. No.
You had no problem with them going into the
No. I mean, I
love
get
the
it.
studio until that.
I get it. It's intellectual property, and it's not the first time like a copyright thing has come up against one of the videos, but at least most of the time you can still watch it. It's just in certain countries that would be blocked, but this one was blocked for everyone everywhere. So it was a losing battle no matter what I did, and otherwise it would just been a bunch of reactions of Warren. But even then, it still may not have worked because it could also be the audio too. With
It
the
would
movie.
Absolutely 100% be the audio as well.
So no matter what I did,
all
it was a losing battle. So that kind of sucks. Hopefully it doesn't
Maybe
happen
you could
again.
just cut out the sound and the clips from the movies and just the whole video was just my reaction.
Just silent.
Oh. How long is the video? It was about 92 seconds.
So I'm trying to brainstorm some new things to try in the future in case something like this happens again. So I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing, but hopefully it doesn't come up again.
It's one of those weird situations where it's like you try to you have the ability and you have the right to transform the media in a way that it makes it, or quote, your own, and it makes it an original thing, and you can use existing media to do that. It's what is their definition of transforming, and there's a gray area when it comes to YouTube to try to figure out that that sweet spot, air quote sweet spot, like Dead Meat James, I'm sure if all of our viewers and listeners probably know that what the kill count is, Dead Meat's kill counts, James, Janice. Even he still, all these years later, he still has issues every once in a while with his videos getting blocked and shit like that. And it's and he's fucking damn near mastered the ability to transform, or quote, transform it into his own creation.
Right.
It's tough. So, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was that sucked. That super super fucking sucks. Warren, what have you been up to, man?
Uh, just living the dream, you know. Uh, meeting wrestlers and getting autographs.
Yeah, we did.
Must
Yeah,
be
we did.
nice.
Yeah,
It
it
was.
was pretty dope. We went to Monday Night Raw because it was here in
Hmm.
Kansas City,
Okay.
Mhm.
and a good buddy of ours who was supposed to go with us, but unfortunately was not feeling well enough to attend.
Yeah, he was.
Reached out a couple of days before Monday Night Raw and let us know that Damian Priest was going to be doing a meet and greet at High V.
Oh,
Yeah,
And so we went,
we did.
and I took my World Heavyweight Championship replica
nice.
belt with me and got that autographed, and I got to hold the actual World Heavyweight Championship because when
Nice.
we took our picture, I held the his belt and he had my replica. And it was pretty freaking cool, man. He's a pretty chill guy.
Hmm.
I'm kind of still in basically everything that Brian probably has to share for the most part.
No,
Um,
yeah, you're perfectly fine though. Yeah, because I'll just
um,
piggyback right on it.
but when I walked up, you could tell he was kind of impressed because I was the only one there with the belt that he has. There
Mhm.
were a lot of like just network logo titles. One lady had
Yeah,
Rhea's belt, which was cool.
yeah.
Okay.
And we met this really nice father and son, and the son had a winged eagle that he was
Mhm.
wearing, but he had a senior money in the bank briefcase. I thought that was
He
pretty
did.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's really
yeah, it was
cool.
very
Um,
cool.
but yeah, it was pretty cool to get to meet him, and he asked me who I beat for mine, and
Enrique had the best answer that
yeah,
wasn't
and
given.
yeah, and he was like, "You should have told him you your wallet," but instead, I turned into one of those like 90s sitcoms, and I was just like, he's talking to me."
Yeah,
But yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then obviously later that night, we went to Raw, and that was pretty
we had so
fun.
much fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 'cause it was great. It reminded us of why we were friends because
Yeah,
when Jey Uso came out, he shared some hype
some
moments
yeet
there,
moments. Yeah,
yeet moment. And then also when Patrick Mahomes came out, Brian just stared at me.
yeah.
Mm.
Patrick Mahomes walks out, so I look over at where I'm like, fuck this fucking guy, fucking asshole.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But no, I had a great time. It was only thing that sucked was I missed out on the Yeet glasses. I really wanted a pair of the Yeet
yeah.
glasses
We have to find you a pair on. We'll probably find them on the
online.
interwebs.
Yeah, online.
He has an
But
Etsy shop that just makes only those.
yeah, that's why they only got 25 because he just started it. That's
Yeah,
it.
is that what they said? They didn't
Yeah, the
they
lady
didn't
said that
have
they
any.
only gave him 25. I would assume that she means like meant each stand only got 25.
And there was only 3 stands anyway, though, so that would have
Yeah.
only been 75 fucking pairs of glasses for
Yeah.
how many people does T-Mobile Center hold?
Enough that
10,000?
wasn't enough.
Right?
Yeah, probably 10,000, a guesstimation. I have no idea.
But yeah, that and then just had that whole debacle with my computer. Had a storm the other day. Had a big lightning strike happen fairly close to our building. So of course that led to an outage. So when I woke up, I was like, "Cool, this will probably be resolved." And they were like, "Oh yeah, it's resolved." And then I still didn't have internet, and I was like, "What's going on here?" Look at my router. My modem's on. My router is not like in any capacity. Like the light wasn't red, flashing. It just was completely dead. So I had to get a new router. Go get the new router. Plug everything up. Roku's Connect. Right, got that going. Um, then I plug in the Ethernet cable to my computer, and it's not working. It just keeps endlessly looping between identifying and not connected.
Hmm.
So I was like, "Oh man, what is going on? This router is trash." because I built my computer, so I know it's not messed up. But then I plug it in. I plugged the same Ethernet cable into my PlayStation, and it worked just fine. So then I was like, "Oh no, I failed as a PC builder because it didn't
Yeah.
withstand one electrical shock. That's crazy." So I was troubleshooting that for a few days, and I just couldn't get it. And then eventually, today in the clutch, when I could have used that as 100% excuse to not watch this movie, um, was able to figure out a fix for it. So I had to do a network reset, then actually turn off the power supply and turn it back on, and that somehow fixed it. Why that worked, I don't know, but it did.
Yeah, computers are weird sometimes. Like the
Yeah.
strangest shit. The strangest shit. Like that. Your internet having an issue. Like 100% that could have genuinely been a problem with this fucking Paint application tried to update and it made your copy of Diablo uninstall and bought 37 silver forks and sent them to fucking Haiti. All
What is
sorts
going
of
on here, man?
stupid, weird fucking shit can happen for the strangest things with PCs.
Yeah.
That being said, I'll never go back to console again. Until I want to play Elden Ring, and then I turn it on, and so when I feel like hating myself, I'll play my console because that's the only game
Yeah.
I got on console right now. So yeah, I did a lot of the same things that Warren did, minus all of the computer issues. Yeah, we did. It was really cool meeting Damian Priest. He was really nice. He's ridiculously fucking handsome, and he makes every man near him feel inferior as a fucking man because he's super fucking gorgeous. Yeah, he was really nice, very cool. I did not have a world championship belt for him to sign. But Warren pointed out that me and him dress the same.
Yes.
'Cause I actually wearing the shirt I was wearing, and he's like, "You're dressed just like him." Yeah, I was like, This is what I wear every Monday." Like, this is how I dress. He's like, "But yeah, you look like exactly like you dress exactly like what shit that Damian Priest would wear." And I was like, "I don't know, man. This is just what I wear, dude."
Completely
So,
unintentional. Yeah,
really
okay.
unintentional. I dress like that when I go to the record shop.
We're going
too.
to meet Damian Priest? I had no idea.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I was going to buy milk." But, which is why we were at Hy-Vee. But no, I bought a bottle of the vodka that,
Yeah,
he
Wheatley
was
vodka is what.
Wheatley vodka, and I have not opened it. I don't intend to because I've heard nothing but bad
Things.
things about it. I've heard it's not very good, which
Needless
is
to
fine.
say.
But I do got a really good looking bottle autographed by a really good looking guy sitting on my really good looking bar downstairs in the
In your really good looking house.
living room in my really good looking house that has a really shitty fucking plumbing issue. that I gotta hire a plumber to come out and dig up my main drain.
Fun.
The line. Yeah, it's got probably either a collapsed drain main pipe that leads out, or a tree root has gotten in there. Neither one of those are covered by the home warranty, which I understand. But I do get to look forward to fixing that, and I also get to look forward to going off on the case manager that denied my my claim to have my air conditioning repaired.
Wow.
Because it's covered by the warranty, and they're trying to say that it is excessive and abnormal wear and tear. My air conditioning unit is less than a year old, and I've only been in this house for a month. There's absolutely no fucking way that I did anything to that air conditioning unit.
Right.
And they are going to fix my air conditioning unit. They don't know, but they're fucking fixing it. Like, I will not go quietly into this night. I will not pay for that fucking shit. So that's what I've been that's what I've been doing, is dealing with, and apparently a cry little dog. Fine, he's just pitiful. But let's start talking about Prom Night from 1980, starring the always wonderful, always beautiful, always fantastic, always amazing Casey Stevens.
Casey Stevens.
Obviously, I'm talking about Jamie Lee Curtis in what is, I think, her second movie. It's like, or maybe her third.
Somewhere around there, for sure.
She did so many horror movies when she first got into the game. Obviously, her very first first movie was Halloween. And from then on, she did so many horror movies in the early 80s. Everything from, Halloween 2, The Fog, Prom Night, Terror Train. There's another one that has to do with like a cross country road trip or some show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. But
Yeah.
This was
yeah,
her third movie, because The Fog
this was her
was
third
before
movie.
this one.
She did The Fog before this. Okay.
Yep.
And so yeah, she worked with John Carpenter quite a bit. And obviously, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she's probably one of the greatest scream queens in the history of the game. And so we watched Prom Night and introduced Warren to it. Warren, what are your initial thoughts on Prom Night from 1980?
Honestly, not a terrible movie. Just slow, very slow. Um, I've come to realize that I tend to enjoy the movies that kind of get right to the point when it comes to the horror genre.
Okay.
The buildup can be effective if done correctly. This one, I don't think did that. It just made me feel like I was just watching a movie. Like it didn't have that horror feel to it. At times, even when he was killing people, it was like finally, like it felt more like an action feel for me. Like finally, something's happening. I was actually happy to be seeing people get killed because it took so long to get to that point.
It did, because besides the one girl that they found back in the place where the kid died, it took an hour and like 9 minutes for like the killer to actually kill somebody on screen. It's fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like I was like, bro, like we're just watching a high school like coming of age. Like, what are we doing? This is
Yeah, I think I said it's like watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High without the comedy at all.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, for what it was supposed to be, I guess I can try to understand. Because really, what really it came down to for me was I just wanted to know who the killer was. I didn't even care if he killed anybody else. I just was like, just show me who it is. Like that's kind of where I found myself growing very impatient with this movie because it was taking so long to get to anything happening
Right.
that it was that I was just like, just tell me who it is. Like I don't even need to know how this ends. As long as I know who it is, who was doing it, like I'll take it as a win.
Right.
Um
Yeah.
so cuz and like I've realized that a lot of these movies from back in the day do not typically show the deaths. Like they imply or insinuate what
Well, yeah,
happened to the
this
person.
has everything to do with the MPAA back then.
Right.
Ever since what was the name of this? There was this horror movie that came out in the 70s. It was I want to say it was an Italian horror film, and when they released it in America, it genuinely changed the landscape of cinema in America. And the MPAA that's when they really started cracking down on ratings and things like that. And that back then, America and well, a lot of the country, a lot of the world was very sensitive to that kind of, display of nihilistic, killing and things like that.
Mhm.
So a lot of the kills are just very much the gore factor and the shock factor is kind of in the reveal of things.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, that's why this movie is the way it is. Well, in that regard, anyway. This isn't one of my favorite movies.
No, no. I think I've maybe seen
I don't.
this. This is probably the second time I've seen the movie, honestly.
Yeah, I think this was probably only my third, maybe fourth watch at most.
Right.
And this is the most I ever paid attention to it because I find this movie quite boring.
Yeah, because what the fucking happens?
Yeah, it's Isaiah, you tell me about your first experience with Prom Night.
Honestly, it was like back in high school is the only other time I've seen it, and I didn't really care for it then when I saw it because like you, I found it boring. This time around, I've seen it once. It's still not the greatest movie in my opinion. It's passable. I feel, but I still find it boring just because that first hour is like build up to get to the prom. The whole
It's a punch in the
premise,
nuts.
the whole premise of the movie is supposed to be about prom night, and it takes us an hour to get to that point. And we don't
Yeah.
see any action from the killer, like we had already stated, until that point. So it's like the first hour is so fucking boring, and then the last half hour is when everything basically happens. That should have been spread out throughout the movie. And the last half hour I think is great, with regards to the movie.
That's
But
pretty good.
it's that first hour that kills it for me, and that it's why I still don't. I probably won't watch it again for quite a while unless the wife wants to watch it or something, which I don't foresee that happening. Her picking this out of any other of the 1,000 movies I have, but you never know. But I don't foresee myself, even though I bought the Blu-ray to do this, to do the podcast, it'll probably just sit on the shelf because I won't pop it in to watch
Yeah.
it anytime soon. So
Yeah, I think I have this on DVD somewhere in my collection. I
Mhm.
don't have a big physical collection anymore because I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. The only physical movies that I've not gotten rid of and I won't get rid of are my horror films. So anything that I ever owned physical, horror wise, I still have. So I think I still have a DVD. I think it's a double feature DVD of this and Prom Night 2.
okay.
The irony in us watching this for this episode is I only picked this because I want to show Warren Prom Night 2.
Oh, for sure, because it's
Because
fucking great.
it's a banger. So I picked this and I was like, I don't want to show him part 2 without showing him part 1
Yeah,
because I just think that's a disservice.
exactly.
Um,
Well, it's definitely gonna make me appreciate number 2 more before I even see
it's
it.
one of my favorite horror films ever.
It's so great.
It's so good. Yeah. So okay, so let's kind of go through the movie a little bit. It's gonna take literally 48 seconds to go through this movie. Okay.
Pretty much.
Shit happens at the beginning. A bunch of fucking kids are bullying a little girl. She falls out of a window and plummets to her death. The Leslie Nielsen is there. Fast forward to like nighttime of that same day. Leslie Nielsen, who everybody knows from like the Naked Gun movies. This is before he had started doing comedy as his primary bread and butter. But he's the little girl's dad. That passed away in the accident, air quote accident. Now that little girl had a twin brother and an older sister. 6 years later, all these kids have aged by 20 years, and they are preparing for prom night. And we get some stuff like creepy calls, a la Black Christmas
Yep.
style.
Less
That means
vulgar.
nothing to Warren. Much less vulgar. And then after what feels like a fucking whole lifetime, we finally get a first death. And the rest of this movie is very much filled with small amounts uh, of background, of just story, generic story
Yeah.
filler. Jamie Lee Curtis's character has stolen a boyfriend from a girl named Wendy.
Who's one of
Her
the
name's
original
Kim.
kids.
Who's one of the, yeah, Wendy's the ringleader, if memory kind of serves me correctly. She's kind of the ringleader of the little brats that offed this offed this poor girl. Now, Jamie Lee Curtis's character's name's Kim. She's the older sister of the girl that passed away, and she's now dating a boy named Nick, who was part of the group of kids that accidentally killed this girl. Nick has grown up to be what seems like a pretty good kid, and he feels bad about it. And there's a moment in the movie where he tries to tell him what happened when they were younger, but he has a hard time doing it. I guess I can completely understand that. That would be devastating to tell somebody that he just said he loved her. I loved you. I accidentally killed your sister. That's probably not.
Yeah.
That's probably an awful conversation to have. But yeah, this movie's kind of boring, man. It's
a lot of
this is a-
nothing
this is a
happens, and then prom happens.
a lot of
Basically.
nothing happens, and then one by one, everybody gets whacked.
Pretty
Like,
much.
relatively quickly. Poor Slick and his shitty driving and his bad vision. That death is kind of funny. That the both of their deaths is kind of funny because the way that the killer is jumping up and down and stabbing it. That killer is getting it fucking in on that girl. I can't remember that girl's name.
I can't either. That's so forgettable.
Yeah, there's most of the characters in this movie are pretty forgettable. But yeah, one by one, all the kids get kind of picked off by the killer until at the very end, the killer is duking it out with Nick, and Jamie Lee Curtis's character Kim smacks him in the fucking side of the head with an axe. They lock eyes. Jamie Lee Curtis instantly recognizes who it is, and it's of course revealed that it was the twin brother of the little girl that died that was actually doing all of the killing. It's kind of at its core, this is a slasher whodunit kind of thing. Pretty similar to like My Bloody Valentine, stuff like that. Even similar to kind of Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Just
a whole lot more boring.
It's just so fucking boring, man. That's why, like, I know people really do consider this a classic, and honestly, I do understand.
Yeah.
I do get it.
I know.
I understand why this is kind of considered a classic. This is very, very early in the real, like the real meat and potatoes birth of the slasher genre.
Yep.
Because it kind of started with like Black Christmas or Peeping Tom even before that, honestly, maybe Psycho. So there have been elements, there have been slasher movies in the past, but Halloween really kind of mastered the formula.
Yep.
And then every studio in existence wanted to try to rip that off. So this is still very much in the fresh, because it's only 2 years after Halloween came out. So it's early in the real slasher renaissance or birth almost.
Yep.
So, because I mean, dude, slashers were so fucking popular in the early 80s. Like it was every studio was just cranking out these awesome shitty slashers, and and that's my favorite. That's my genre. That's my favorite genre of horror film is the slasher genre. Don't get me wrong, I certainly appreciate the shit out of a real intellectual or supernatural
Yep.
horror film or anything like that. I do. I appreciate all of it. Every subgenre of the horror genre I respect. But my comfort is slasher films. So this is the least of what I like in my slasher movies though.
I would agree.
I would have cut out so much of this. This movie would have only been like 35 minutes long if I made it.
Makes good. It makes for a good like episode of a TV show for
Yeah,
the amount of stuff that it's actually
I
meat and
almost
potatoes
like
in there.
the remake. I almost like the remake
I
more
didn't
than
mind it, and that like I own the remake, but I haven't owned the original until now. So I mean
yeah. I have the remake too. I have that on Blu-ray somewhere.
yep, same.
Yeah, because I
So
bought that the same because those came out that around the same time as Black Christmas, if memory serves me
because
correctly. The Black
yeah, because I think wasn't it like 2009 or something like that came out somewhere
Yeah, I
around
think
there.
it was around 08, 09 for both of those movies.
Because I remember I didn't see that one, and because until I got the disc of it, because I think I got the disc through like Horror Pack or something like that.
Oh,
Some
gotcha.
subscription service is how I got it. So, but I saw it, and then I would see it on like Fear Fest every once in a while, or
Yeah,
something like that, or AMC or whatever the case may be. So I'll
right.
I- I'll watch the remake if it's on or something like that. It's still not the greatest movie, but I mean,
Ooh,
I think it's slightly better than this
no.
one. But
Yeah, we're not alone. This movie is not reviewed well. This it's we're talking about like 48% by the critics on Rotten Tomatoes and only like
mhm.
mid 30s by the audience. So we're not alone in not really being a fan of the movie.
Yeah,
So I don't feel so bad.
no,
But there's some cool stuff like Paul Zaza did the music for this.
mhm.
That at least the score anyway, and he did the score for My Bloody Valentine, which is a much better slasher
Yep.
film. And it's directed by Paul Lynch. I want to say I've seen other stuff that they did as well. Yeah, and I'm gonna say, and I'm wrong. I haven't. Oh no, he directed RoboCop 4. Yeah, I was wrong. I've never seen this. I just thought I recognized the name. I guess I didn't. He did a bunch of really shit, fucking awful movies. Good for him. Uh, at least he's working. But yeah, this movie's it's not super great. It's not awful.
No,
I mean, it's not like I said, it's not a piece of shit. But god damn, this is boring. Like it's just nothing happens. I don't care about these kids' drama.
nope.
I don't care at all. I wanted to see more.
I just
But yeah,
love the fact that Warren was just so ready for somebody to die by the time it
it
actually
was the
happened.
first time. Yeah, I was so proud of him. He said, "I can't wait for somebody." When he had
Man.
this, how he put it, I have never wanted someone to die in a movie so bad.
Yeah, it was like really like give it to me. Come on. Normally I'm like, oh man, like I hope these people make it. I wanted all of them to die at that point. I was like, because y'all were the reason I have to experience this because y'all killed that girl. Like if y'all don't kill that girl, I don't have to experience this boring ass movie. But y'all did it. So now y'all all need to die. So then I technically, in a way, we should be also mad at the killer because he took so fucking long. He was late or something. His car broke down. Something happened.
Yeah.
But
Well, they wanted to play it out as this whodunit kind of thing.
what?
Yeah,
Who did what?
exactly.
Like nothing was happening. Nobody did anything
Yeah.
until the end. How can I have a who done it if they don't do anything?
Right.
If they don't done it,
If they don't done it, how can I know who done it?
if they don't done it, who did it?
Like I think kind of going back to Isaiah's point, very quickly we should have gone through this is what happened. Oh, okay, now they're in high school. I think we should have gone directly to prom night
We
and started
I
from there. And then
we
I think
or
we could have gotten the catch up cues from the interactions of the kids during
Yeah.
prom night. Meaning
oh,
we could have seen Wendy interact with Kim prior to seeing that her and Nick were like a thing, but we find because we see her and Kim like not clearly getting along or like she has some
mhm,
type of disdain for her. And then they show Kim go to meet Nick and then like Wendy rolls her eyes or
like,
something. And then you're
yeah,
like, oh, okay, this they maybe used to be
there's
a thing.
there's
But
definitely a way.
and the
But
only reason I say that is because now you open up the movie to where as we go through the film, people could have been getting killed as the night went on,
Mhm.
which
mhm,
then allows action to be happening throughout the film,
Right.
as opposed to us setting up for prom night because you're just gonna just have this big finish at the end.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't have minded it being because basically the movie takes place in one day, in a whole day. I wouldn't have minded that. If they would have at least spaced out some of the kill, because look, we should somebody should have died on screen getting ready for their date to pick them up.
Right.
100%. Like one of the girls should have been killed while she was getting ready, and then like her date would have showed up and honked like she didn't come or what the fuck, you know? And then he goes up like the door is locked and shit, and then he's like, okay, I guess this fucking shit didn't work out. And then there could have been a scene earlier where this girl like maybe reluctantly accepted his invitation to go to prom, and then he thinks that she just stood him up or was playing a joke on him or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
somebody who 100% should have been killed while they were getting ready. Um, it's they squeezed all of this exposition, meaningless exposition at that into the rest of the movie. And then what the opening sequence was, what, maybe 7 minutes long,
Maybe.
of the flash of the girl falling out the window, maybe 7 minutes, no more than 10. And then literally 53 or 59 minutes later, shit finally happened. So we had to fucking suffer through over a fucking hour, basically an hour of bullshit
Yep.
to get to to get to the last roughly 25 minutes of the movie. And yeah, somebody should have died at the 15-minute mark and the 30-minute mark. Because there's no acts. Like this is like a 2-act film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
there was no defining moment really at the end of Act 2 that would signify us entering Act 3.
I would
It's not
agree.
a very good movie.
No.
Not a very
No,
good movie.
no, not at all. I
It's not
think
a piece of shit though.
I would say pacing in these movies is everything.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and it didn't have very good pacing.
No.
It held on to moments longer than they should have, and some moments that
Mhm.
maybe should have been longer weren't long enough.
Yep.
Um, like, because I feel like the biggest thing for me was that like these kids were dying and they didn't even know like why. Like there was never a moment of like, is it her? Like, did she come back? Like,
Right.
does somebody know that we did it? Like, what's happening here? But if you have that
Right.
spread out where they like wanna or like even like you said, if you had a situation where act one was kind of the setup and then us seeing how they transitions them to being in high school, we start setting up that they're all here, boom, boom, boom. Act two is where we see a first maybe couple of kids get killed, and then they go, "Yo, somebody is targeting us.
Mhm.
Do we think it has? Did you say something? No, I never said anything to anybody," kind of thing. And then
Yeah,
Act
kind of like
three
I know
is
what you did last summer vibe, like
Yep.
the
yeah,
like
and
the
then the
emo
third
thing they've
act
had
is
days before.
them. I know what it is. Never watched it. Uh, but Then act 3 being the actual prom night where, like you said, some of them are reluctant to even go because how could I go have a good time when I know someone's targeting me and my friends? And then that's when you get the scene where, like you said, one of them's getting ready and she was reluctant to answer that guy's request to go to prom because she knows that she's got a killer on the loose looking for them. But she
Yeah, yeah,
says
yeah.
yes because she's like, why not? Because one of the kids is like, this isn't going on. There's always the one delusional, and they're like, just enjoy the night. It's prom night.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on prom because
There's
you're
ways,
having
like
guilty trips or
there would
whatever.
have been ways that they
But
could have
they could have
absolutely.
done it that way, and then now all of a sudden we have a really good film with really good
I think
pace.
what needs to happen is I'm gonna rewrite it, I think. And then we'll just fucking shoot it. We'll just shoot it ourselves. Warren has a really nice camera. Isaiah, you have a really nice camera. You all, between the two of you guys got great editing skills. I will play the killer. And
Just spoil the movie for everybody. All
I'm
right.
happy to step into the directing role as well. And I'm gonna compose the music too. I may play Jamie Lee Curtis also in a dual role. We're gonna make it happen. No. So yeah. Yeah, there would have been ways. Um I think that I think I like your idea, Isaiah, about the next movie.
All right.
I couldn't think of anything.
I have ideas for Halloween, but that was like the one thing I thought.
Yeah,
Because
we gotta save those. Yeah,
Mhm.
because that's like a that's like a yeah.
It's
Okay.
like a yeah.
Thing. It's a thing.
Mhm.
Halloween is a thing in
Halloween is a thing.
Me and Isaiah's place. Halloween's a thing. It's not a thing for you, Warren.
No, most of these aren't, but
Okay. All right. Well, Isaiah, do you want to tell Warren what we're going to be making him watch for the next episode?
Yep. So in the next episode, we're going to be revisiting Camp Crystal Lake in 3D as we do Friday the 13th Part 3, which is the first one where Jason actually gets his hockey mask. So we'll be looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. The fucking opening score is just fantastic in this. Everything about this movie is great. So it'll
I have a
be
question.
yes.
Can we watch that in 3D?
Might be possible.
Do you have the 3D copy?
I do because I have the old one in the tin box set. They just
Did you
need-
buy the big box set that Scream Factory
yeah.
put out?
Yep.
That comes with the 3D copy, doesn't it?
It does, but it's like the real 3D. So you have to have those special 3D glasses, 3D Blu-ray
is it the
player.
real?
Yeah.
I thought it was the blue and the red
Nope.
old school one.
The old one that came in the metal tin is that version. So I have that. So I'll try to see if I can rip the one with the 3D and see how that works because that would be fucking awesome if that would
We
work
should
out.
totally watch that in 3D.
Oh,
so do we need to get glasses? Like, do we
Oh
need
yeah,
to...
but those are like you can go to the fucking
No, I
Five
just need to
Below,
know
bro.
so I can do it.
Yeah. We'll go to Five Below and buy some cheap fucking. Yeah, let's do that. All right, kids, you heard it here. We're gonna make Warren go visit Crystal Lake. This installment was once again directed by Steve Miner. He directed parts 2 and 3. Oh my God, my dog is bawling at me. He's just laying there. You're fine, buddy. So yeah, we're gonna go visit Crystal Lake. This is part of a 3-movie stretch.
Yep.
Within the franchise that all take place over one weekend.
Yep. So this is the second day.
Yeah, because the parts 2, 3, and 4 all take place in one massive weekend.
Oh, what?
Spoiler
alert.
If you want to call that a fucking spoiler, it's not. All right, guys. Anything y'all want to add to our listeners before we head out?
Just be sure to check out the YouTube for the full episodes of the podcast and hopefully reaction videos as long as they're able to go up. And then Yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to go check out the audio versions on your favorite podcast software or apps.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Warren, anything? No, just piggyback.
No, yeah, just like, subscribe. Thanks for all the support.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any suggestions for movies you'd like to see, I
Yeah,
would say
maybe
put
leave a
that
comment.
down low in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe leave a comment. Any suggestions of movies that we should force you to watch? I like it. All right, guys, thank y'all so much. My dog is about to lose his freaking mind, so we're gonna slide out of here. I'm gonna take him for a walk. He probably has a shit or something. But all right, everybody, thank you all so much for the support, and we will catch you on the next episode.
Peace.